So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be sorting out all the finicky little bits that are left on the EK for us to get it back on the road. So, first things first, when we loaded it onto the trailer the other week to bring it back, we had a bit of an issue where we could hear a rubbing sound. Now, what we've managed to find out is that the CVs that I've put on the shaft are the right external tooth and internal tooth to go onto the shaft and into the hub, but the ABS teeth are different, which made them hit the ABS sensor. So they were 43 teeth on the ones that we've got, and on the OEM ones they're 52. So we've ordered us some new CVs in the hopes of being able to fix that, and we are also now looking at moving the ABS pump because it's currently sat down there in the way of the manifold. So we've got
put a bloody engine in the way.
we have put an engine in the way, but we now need to move that to where I think we're looking to put it where the battery used to be, which is what we are currently on with. The ABS pump is now unplugged, and I think we're ready to unbolt it from the chassis leg to then move it and relocate it. You'll have seen that Dad was working through unbolting all of the lines and that sort of thing. Two of them we've taken out because they go from the master cylinder straight down to the ABS pump, and then the 4 lines that are left go obviously one to each corner of the car for the brakes. So what we're doing now is we've unplugged the wiring for the pump, and now we're going to unbolt it off the chassis leg and take it out so we can then figure out how we're going to relocate it and then make the new brake lines according to that. It's out the way. After taking the ABS pump out, we've mocked up where we want it to sit on the firewall just there, and the game plan is we are going to drill through the firewall on the 3 yellow dots that you can see just there, and then we're going to riv knot it for us to be able to bolt that bracket onto the firewall, and then we'll be able to remake the brake lines to go to the ABS pump. We've also routed through this lambda sensor, so we've got an O2 sensor that's going to be going in the exhaust manifold, and this is the wire from the conversion harness that obviously comes through passenger footwell through the firewall just there, and then it runs up this way. So we've got that sensor ready to plug in as well, and then we just need to run a little bit of sealant around there, and we should, fingers crossed, be good to go. So we're back for day 2. It's going to be in the same video, but yesterday was Saturday. We were working on the brake system, as you would have seen previously in this video, but we have now got all of our new brake lines made up and run across to the master cylinder, and obviously each corner, and the brake, like the OEM proportioning valve, which is what we needed to do. But there wasn't really much point in me filming that because making brake lines is a very tedious process, and it took us probably best part of 6 hours to make the 6 lines. So it wouldn't have been very interesting for you guys to have watched, but that is where we're at now. So all the brake lines are in and sorted, and the ABS is relocated. All I need to be doing next is extending these wires and these wires to plug into where they were over on the other side of the engine bay. But that isn't an issue at all. That should be nice and straightforward. Today's plan of action, I believe, is we are going to be buttoning up against some of the smaller bits and figuring out where we want to locate the fuel pressure regulator, because we're not particularly happy with how some of the lines are sitting. So what we're going to do is order new fittings and new lines, remake all of the lines that we've got at the minute, just so we can run them a little bit nicer and we can actually decide where we want things to go, rather than trying to make the best of what we've got with the lines that we have at the minute. So we're going to look into that, and we also managed to get the exhaust manifold on yesterday as well. That's all bolted up and finished. So we're going to look into radiator placement and see possibly if we can get it ticking over. We've rerouted the fuel system up the top because we weren't quite happy with how everything was routed and where stuff was fitting, so we've moved the regulator and mounted that on the strut tower, as well as swapped the fuel lines around so they are running in the right places now. In order for me to do the fuel return, I am going to remake the pipe, so I'm going to order some of that today, and then that should be here in the next couple of days for us to remake that. But the next port of call is we are going to be sorting out these radiator brackets. Now, standard, we're on a half rad, so you've got one mount in there and one mount in there, and then these two for the aircon. This car wasn't an aircon model to start with, so these have always been redundant for me, but for us to have a bit more clearance, what we're going to do is move the half rad from this side over here, and then see how that works. If we have any problems with it, then I'll simply just go to a full rad, but for now there isn't really any need. Nobody has said they've had any problems running the half rad, so save themselves a little bit of money and put the half rad on this side, and then yeah, like I say, we need to cut both these brackets off and move them over here. And then if we have any problems, I'll end up putting a full rad on it in the future. But that shouldn't be something that will be too hard to sort out, fingers crossed. So just to show you guys now where we've got up to, we've got all the ABS relocated, and I'm just about to extend all the wiring that I needed to. And we also got the radiator mounts on, and now we've got the radiator all mounted up and sorted, ready to go. All I need to do is extend the fan wiring because we've got a Mishimoto slimline fan on there as well. So I need to connect these two wires to them two, and obviously do all my wires at the back. But the radiator and everything's on. I'm gonna drop a belt on the engine as well, and then we should, fingers crossed, be good to start the engine. So I've now got all of my ABS wiring extended and routed where I want it to be routed, and I've also extended all of my fan wires, so that is now plugged in and ready to go, and the fuel return line is officially sorted. I do, however, have a very cool clip to show you guys that is a massive step in this K20 process, so take a look at that now.
Right, hang on a minute.
Just let the fire extinguisher.
Go on now. Yeah.
Fucking lovely! So, as you've just been able to see, it's incredible. We've managed to get this thing started, and I genuinely couldn't be any happier with how it sounded and how it was running and all that sort of thing. So we're basically on the home stretch. We've got the last few bits to be tidying up and fixing and just sorting out in general. And then fingers crossed, we shouldn't be that long before the car is back on the road and we're ready to test it. But yeah, I'm just ridiculously happy that the thing runs and we know it's okay. And now we can go through the process of making sure that everything's ready so we can actually use it. But thank you so much for watching the journey and following everything. For those of you that have been texting me on Instagram, talking to me about the build, it's been brilliant. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'm genuinely ecstatic with this, and I cannot wait to drive it. So keep an eye out for that because it will be coming very shortly. But yeah, enjoy the rest of your day or evening, you lot, and I will see you later.